Hello, my name is Eric. I am an animation student in the WITS Masters program. I majored in animation and game design.
Hi, I'm Tamara and I worked alongside Eric on Project Porco.
Project Porco is a re-animation collab organized by Tamara and myself. A segment of the Studio Ghibli film Porco Rosso was divided into short clips between 1 and 5 seconds. Volunteer animators from around the world then signed up to re-animate these clips. We chose this film because we admire the craftsmanship of the Ghibli animators and see it as a standard to aspire to. Additionally, the sequence provided a variety of short shots featuring characters, backgrounds, effects, and such that were optimal to divide into small segments for the animators to have a diversity of choice. Over the duration of the project, we produced short videos for social media that gave information about the collab. From there, volunteers joined our Discord server. Here, we ran and organized the project. We used channels for topics such as Q&A, progress posts, project admin, and general chat. Our server grew to over 100 members with about 50 contributing animators. We used a spreadsheet on the cloud to allocate, monitor, and manage who was animating which clips. Our members came from a variety of time zones, but this was no major obstacle. The format of our project meant that there was no urgent communication needs and animators had a lot of autonomy. My favorite aspect of this project was seeing such variety and technique from all our animators. I think it was awesome that we could have first-time animators working alongside seasoned professionals, all towards the same goal. In my own contributions, I layered a variety of tools in Blender 3D, such as 2D vector art, frame-by-frame animation, 3D models, and simulations. I enjoyed how doing a reanimation allows for some focus on the technique and the rendering aspect of the animation process.
The best way that I could describe Project Porco is by calling it something similar to a game jam, so maybe an animation jam, because we tried to create a collaborative experience where various animators of all sorts of skill sets could work together in order to reach a specified goal while at the same time embracing their individuality and independence and working at their own pace, especially because the project welcomed animators from all sorts of skill sets, that being from beginner animators all the way to people who've been working in the industry for various years. We mostly decided to do something like this because we didn't feel like it existed, or we had never come across something like this before, and we thought, well, how cool would it be to see a bunch of different animators animate in their own styles, and string it together into a scene, especially if it was something like a popular film like Porco Rosso, for example. And so we decided to launch the project off the ground and see where it took us. And it led to some really cool and interesting results. And we ended up learning a lot, especially that the online animation industry and international animation industry is incredibly diverse and incredibly welcoming. And it was honestly wonderful to see and to interact with people from all sorts of backgrounds, with all sorts of identities, with all sorts of skill sets and visual styles and animation styles come together and work together and share their experiences, share their knowledge, and just nerd out over animation and Ghibli films. And it was really a fun experience. My most favorite part was seeing everyone's process and seeing how everyone started and finished their clips. Not that I was very good at this, but it was wonderful to see people upload sort of process clips to the server and to see how a bunch of line art on a page ended up being a beautifully rendered animation. It was honestly wonderful, and it was nice to sort of passively learn from people in that way. Regarding my own process, which was a bit silent on the server, I sort of took a back seat regarding that. I worked with frame by frame animation on Clip Studio Paint, and essentially I animated on ones and twos, depending on the part of the clip that I was animating. And I did a rough first pass that I did upload to the server, and I did a lip sync. So I did a first pass of the motion, and I did a first pass of the lip sync, and I translated the lip sync from the original Japanese lip sync into an English lip sync to match the dub. And then after I was happy with that, and I was happy with the motion and timing, I inked it and I colored it in and I rendered it and I uploaded it to the server. It was really a really fun and easy process. Well, as easy as animation could be, right? And it was really exciting to see how all of us interpreted the same sort of scene from the same film, but in our own voices with our own identities. Regarding the next steps of the project, and this is something that we've been asked about a lot, we'd like to first say that everyone deserves a good break. That is to say that we need to take some time, at least Eric and I do, and I know that a lot of people on the server would also like to take some time off and take a breather and work on personal projects or perhaps work projects or school projects before we come back to something like Project Porco. It can be very demanding outside of everything else that we're doing during the day, and we don't want it to feel like a chore or feel like school. And so to keep things fun, we'd like to keep a certain gap, or fun and exciting really, we'd like to keep a certain gap in between projects, but there is a project that would likely happen in sometime in the future, so maybe in a few months time or maybe at the start of next year, where we'll have a whole new film and we'll have a whole new set of clips and a whole new scene that new animators and older animators can come and choose from and work on. Though this time around, because we've built this community and because we feel like everyone's opinion matters and that everyone should have some insight into what they're going to be animating, we'd like to have some polls and have some of our community members, or hopefully all of our community members, participate and choose the film from which we'll be animating, the scene from which we'll be animating, and then finally choose their individual clips. So we really want to keep that sense of community and collaboration going throughout the project's future. And lastly, now that this video is wrapping up, and because the project's wrapped up, we'd like to thank everyone who's participated in the project thus far, especially our community members on our server. We are so proud and humbled and grateful for all of your participation. This project would not have existed without you. And that would be really, really, really lame, because we made a really cool project and we got to see a lot of really cool art from a bunch of really cool people, and we're just really so excited to work with you again. So yeah, thank you to all of you guys and gals and everyone in between. And secondly, we'd like to thank the Wits Digital Arts Department for sort of giving us the courage to get this project off the ground. We'd especially like to thank Ray and Kieran for setting up this sort of explanation video, or this panel that we've put together, and for giving us a space to talk more about our project and hopefully entice some more people to join the next time around. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one, I guess.